Hello, I'm Dr. James Rovira, and I'd like to welcome you to ENC 1101. The first thing I want to tell you, and this is the most important thing, is that because this class is fully online and asynchronous, you're going to have to work on your own and follow the class in the steps in every week in the order in which they're listed. So this video is on a page that's listed number 1, so that's the first thing you want to do for this week in week 1. And then after that, you go on to number 2, and then number 3, and then number 4, and whatever else in the order in which things appear. So follow the order of the elements of the class by the numbers, and you'll be fine, okay? The second thing I want to tell you is that I'm a graduate of Valencia College. It was Valencia College, Community College when I graduated back in 1987, I think. But I know what you're going through. I know what it's like. I got married when I was 19. I started working full-time as an electrician, earned my journeyman's license at 21 and started running jobs. And then at 23, I started going to college. So by that time, I had 2 children and had been working at least full time as an electrician. I'd usually work between 40 and 50 hours a week. There's usually some overtime when I started going to college. So the second thing I want you to know is that I know what it's like to be an adult who's married with kids, working full time and going to college. I know what it's like. And I'm telling you that the path you're on, the work that you're doing, the path that you've chosen for yourself to go to college, it's worth it. It'll pay off. As I said, I started Valencia College in 1987. I graduated with my AA degree. I went on to Rollins College and earned a BA. And then from there, I went on to earn a PhD, which I completed in 2008. So you see, it's a pretty long journey. There was a few years in between my BA and my PhD study where I was figuring out what I wanted to do. I had to decide between starting my own business as an electrician or going to graduate school, and I chose graduate school. And since graduating with my PhD, I've published 5 books. So I'm telling you, the work that you're going to do here in this class, this is first year writing, it's worth it. It's worth the time and it's worth the effort. The work that you do in this class isn't for me, it's for yourself. And it's not for the college, it's to invest in yourself. The college isn't your employer and I'm not your boss. When you show up virtually, when you log in, everything that you do, you're doing for yourself. And I promise you that if you log in every week and do all the work, you do all the reading, you will be investing in yourself, in your own cognitive development, in your reading abilities and your writing abilities. And that self-investment, no one will ever be able to take away from you, okay? So you want to show up and do the work for this class. The purpose of 1101, in my opinion, at any college or university should be to prepare students for upper division college writing classes, for your writing in those classes. It's to develop your writing skills to prepare you for more advanced writing skills. And as someone who worked as an electrician for 16 years, I can tell you, I had to write. So the skills you develop here will not only help you in your future college classes or in your graduate classes if you go on to graduate school, but they will also help you in your professional lives. In 2001, the College Board conducted a survey of hundreds of employers about the importance of writing. And the overwhelming response was that its written communication skills are very important. Generally, applicants don't get hired if they demonstrate poor writing skills, and when they do get hired, They tend to not advance if they demonstrate poor writing skills. And many Fortune 500 companies have in-house writing classes for people who are already employed there who need them. So oral and written communication skills continue to be, and many studies since then have validated that, very important. So I'm telling you, this class is an investment in yourself. Show up every week, even when you don't feel like it. And as a working adult, I can tell you, do a little bit every day. Don't save it all for the weekend and try to do it all at once. That's going to be overwhelming. But remember, every time you log in and do some of the reading and do some of the work, you're investing in yourself, in your own cognitive development. Okay? The next thing I want to tell you is that your learning in any class is a product of the work that you do. Okay? There's this great scene in The Matrix, and this video is embedded in an introductory page. And the scene from The Matrix, I have a YouTube video embedded there, lower down on the same page. The character Trinity learns how to fly a helicopter. She's plugged in, and a helicopter flight program is uploaded into her brain. The idea that our brains work like computers is very widely distributed around science fiction, and that it can be programmed and we can directly load stuff into it like a computer. And then, even if we could do that, we would suddenly know how to fly a helicopter. And then a great science fiction series like Black Mirror, which I love, kind of reinforces this nonsense by implying in many of its episodes that the human mind can just be copied. It's like it's an electrical thing. You can copy the electrical patterns and relocate it into a different physical body, even if it's a mechanical one, and it's still the same mind. Okay, that's nonsense, all right? Our minds aren't computers. Our brains aren't computers. They're connected to our entire bodies. Our entire body is part of our brain. The neurological system, our sensory apparatus, it's all part of our brain. And our brains need all of that to learn. So you learn by what you do, okay? You develop yourself by what you do. Even if you were able to come to a physical classroom, and believe me, I love being in the classroom with my students. I long for the day when that's possible. In the meantime, I'm very grateful to colleges and universities that protect their students by giving them ways to continue to learn outside of physical presence in the classroom. It's a very responsible decision. But you can come to class every day and listen to me, and you won't learn that way. Okay? You learn, especially when it's a skill like writing, you learn by doing. Okay? You increase your writing skills, you develop them by writing. You develop your reading skills by reading. That's not something you can just plug in a classroom, put in your time and develop. Okay? The classroom activities facilitate and direct your activities. And your activities, the things that you do, that's what makes you learn. Okay? So because this class is designed to help you develop your writing skills and specifically to learn writing tasks that you'll need to perform in your upper division courses, what I've done basically is base this freshman writing class on the different kinds of tasks you'll perform in a longer research paper. Okay? And that's summary, which is where you summarize a single source. You repeat back in objective form what the source says. Synthesis, which is synthesizing information from multiple sources at once. Analysis, which is breaking up a single source into its different parts and seeing how those parts work together to form the argument of that source. And then argument, which is where you have an idea of your own and you try to convince someone else of the validity of that idea. Okay? So the goal in this class is for you to be able to present an argument of your own, supporting ideas of your own. Okay? That means the most important thing to me is not to have you repeat back to me what I say. The most important thing to me is that you learn how to think for yourself. And these steps are ways of helping you think for yourself. Right? Now, summarizing is almost a seemingly passive activity, but you are the one who's trying to figure out what this source is saying, and you are the one who has to decide the best way to honestly and objectively present what someone else says in an organized fashion. That's a series of decisions that you'll make that I'll guide you through in this course. And synthesis is an even more complex, as we're using it in this class. There are different kinds of synthesis writing. In this class, synthesis writing will be a complex way of summarizing material from multiple sources at once. Okay, it's probably best called a background synthesis. All right. In your upper division courses, this might be called a review of the literature, where you're describing what multiple sources say about a certain topic. Okay. An analysis is a breakdown of how someone is trying to be convincing. All right. And the tools that they use to convince someone of their point. And that sets you up to learn how to present a convincing argument of your own, which you'll apply in the final paper. The second thing you need to know is that the papers are worth incrementally more points as you go. So the summary paper is 100 points, the synthesis paper is 200, the analysis paper is 300, and the final argument paper is 400. So if you do all the work as you go, I promise you your writing skills will improve, okay? And if they start out really badly and you get bad grades at the beginning to reflect that, you have plenty of time to make up those points, okay? But it only works if you do all the work as you go, so that you can experience that kind of development in your writing and cognitive and reading skills. That will allow you to do the best that you can in that last argument paper at the end of the term. Those are the main things I wanted to communicate to you about this course. First, that you want to do a little bit of it every day. Next, that you want to work through every week in the on the tasks in the order in which are numbered. So number 1, go there first. Number 2, after you've completed number 1. Number 3, after you've completed number 2, and so on. And next, to always remember every time you log into the course and start doing work, that everything that you're doing is for yourself, that you're working for yourself. The development that you experience, the investment in yourself that you're making in your reading skills and your writing skills, and your ability to think in more complex forms as you go, no one will ever be able to take away from you. Okay? So make that investment in yourself in this class. I'm here to help you, guide you through the class as you work your way through it. Okay, and I understand what you're doing is very hard, okay? Working completely on your own in an asynchronous course, for most people, that's a very hard thing to do. There are some people who thrive on that, who just want to be left alone to do the work. If you're that kind of person, good, but remember I'm here for you, okay? Don't be afraid to contact me with your questions. Don't be afraid to email me. If you need a phone call or a Skype session or any other kind of video chat on Google or Yahoo Messenger, I'm connected to all of those. You should have access to Microsoft Teams, which is another video chat service. Email me first. Email's in the syllabus and on the instructor contact page. And set up a time, and then we can talk. Okay? But don't be afraid to contact me with your questions either. All right? Remember, I am who you were. I've done what you're doing, and I know what it's like, and I want to help you. I want you to succeed. Okay? I would love for everyone to earn an A in this class. All right, and last thing about grading, I don't give you grades. Okay, this your grade in this course is a straight percentage of points possible versus points earned, and every task that you perform has a point value assigned to it, and a rubric by which I evaluate it. So I don't give you your grades, you earn your grades. Okay. But again, I can promise you, and especially the way the grades are designed throughout the term in incremental ways, if you do all the work as you go, you will succeed, and odds are you'll earn a pretty good grade in this class. And most importantly, though, you'll know that you've earned it, that I didn't give it to you, that you earned it, that it's yours. Okay? So I'm looking forward to meeting you one way or the other over the course of this semester. And I'm looking forward to learning what you have to say. And I hope I can talk to each one of you individually at some point. And I plan to somehow or another. If you need it, just email me. Take care and move on to step 2 from here. Have a good one.